Alright, so my buddy Lucas is easily as obsessed with Asian food as I am, but he's also obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with cheesesteaks. So today, I'm going to show you how to make a Korean-inspired cheesesteak, and I'm dedicating this episode to him. Also, definitely check out his Instagram. He recently started a project photographing the people behind the many kitchens in my hometown of Thunder Bay, Ontario. And while you're at it, give this video a like and consider subscribing. I release new episodes every Wednesday. So the first thing we're going to do is make a marinade consisting of soy sauce, mirin, sweet cooking wine, sugar, freshly cracked black pepper, some minced or grated garlic, and a small onion, also minced or grated. It's probably easier to do this in a food processor, but I was lazy at the time and that seemed like too much effort, so here we are. For the beef, I'm using the end piece off of a ribeye that I've had in the freezer for about 15 minutes to make it easier to thinly slice. You can use any tender cut of beef you'd like for this, it doesn't really matter too much. Just make sure to cut off any silver skin and excess fat. Both Philly cheesesteaks and Korean bulgogi are traditionally made using thin slices of ribeye, with the biggest difference between the two being that bulgogi, like most Korean barbecue, is marinated. They won't need long to marinate since it's already a tender cut and they're paper thin, at least 10 minutes but up to a few hours. While there's lots of different ways to incorporate cheese into this, the OG way is simply melted cheese whiz. So we're going to be making a cheese sauce that kinda tastes like cheese whiz. I'm using Old Cheddar for this since it's nice and sharp, but any yellow cheddar will do. Then, in a small pot set on medium-low heat, toss in a nub of butter, and once it's all melted and bubbly, slowly whisk in some all-purpose flour to create a roux. Allow it to cook for a minute before adding half of the cream or milk. This will make it a lot easier to whisk it smooth before adding the remainder. Add the grated cheddar, and to really drive home that classic cheese whiz flavor, we're going to add not one, but 2 slices of American cheese. Whisk until it's thick and smooth, then season with kosher salt, some white pepper, and a teaspoon of kimchi juice. The kimchi juice will give it a slight bit of tang and heat and make it taste, well, need I say more. Then, in a large pan set to medium-high heat, add a good drizzle of a neutral cooking oil like canola. Before adding the beef, try to squeeze as much of the marinade out as you can. Too much liquid and you're basically braising the beef, not frying it like we want. With most cheesesteaks, the beef is almost finely chopped, so you could chop it up on a cutting board. Or it doesn't need to be the consistency of ground beef, you just don't want any huge pieces. Once the liquid is mostly gone, move it all to one side and add a generous amount of kimchi. Now, I probably sound like a broken record here, but I always recommend using homemade kimchi as it generally has more flavor than the store-bought. Allow the kimchi to cook for a few minutes or until most of the liquid is gone. For the bun, I'm just using a sub bun from a local bakery, but really, you can use whatever you'd like. You do you. Then bust out your fanciest plate and pile the piping hot bulgogi on one side and the kimchi on the other. Drown it in the kimchi whiz sauce, and that's it. Kimchi and bulgogi cheesesteak. This sandwich is a bit of a beast, so tread lightly. In all honesty, I was only able to finish half of it, so it's a good sandwich for sharing. Especially when you live with a food thief. If you like my content and are interested in supporting my channel, you can check out my Ko-fi page. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.